Hi YouTube! Another Strat. I'm not wearing the bucky jumper. You're not out of sync and you're not going mad. It's sitting there. I've decided to brave the cold. It's freezing. I had someone come over buying a guitar there, so I figured I should probably turn the heating on so it's not the same temperature as outside. So it's relatively warm just now. Yeah, so this is another one from my pal Gordon. It's a Fender Stratocaster. What I think it is I had a guitar from a while ago. I don't think I've got it would be ages ago. I remember it was I think it was a Marlin, but not the shit Marlins, the ones that you always see, the ones that a kind of super stratty. There's actually one on Facebook Marketplace that looks really good. I keep seeing it and going, oh, and then I remember it's a Marlin Sidewinder. No, awful. So these, the first year of Marlin, they were made in GDR, being East Germany, pre the wall. Probably, maybe not pre Pink Floyd the wall, but pre the wall coming down. So there is the reason I remember it having a made in GDR sticker on the back, and if you look at the top there, you can see that I remember the sticker looking like that. If I was more organised, I would have a photo of it. You can see it's made of wood. What I thought about these was, I must have done research. I found it because it was like a communist Eastern Bloc country. They didn't import stuff, so everything was made there. So this is not maple, and this is not ash. This will be what kind of trees grow here, sort of thing. Or Germany's not really that far away if you're from America. It's like, I don't know, that direction, 300 or 400 miles, something like that. Not miles away. No, well, obviously I can't walk there. So it's like it's a similar sort of temperature and all that. So it's likely, I don't know, larch or beech or something like that. Yep. So this one it's obviously got a Fender decal stuck on the top of it. I would put this as late 70s, early 80s. I think Gordon thinks it might be Japanese. It's got a Japanese trem in it. As I said, everything was not imported, so they made their own stuff, so the trems were a bit one of those ones with a metal bar in it. I've actually done no, I'll probably do 2 separate videos, or maybe I won't. I did one, I shimmed the neck to make it so that the bridge fitted properly and stuff like that. I think that was about half an hour long, so I'll just make this a short video that'll stick on the end as a separate video rather than stitching it on. Yeah, so after if you've already watched that, I might put that as an afternoon one or something. Shimmed the neck. The frets were they were just too bad, so I did the frets as well. Frets are now all good. The knobs were stiff, but switch cleaner and turning them up and down a lot, they're fine. They're maybe, I don't know, 10% stiffer than you would expect knobs to be, but that doesn't make a difference. I didn't switch the switch over. I left it as the original 3-way switch because I thought that was cool. It's got a 7 1/4 inch radius, so it's a proper vintage Strat. It's actually really well built. The routing, you can sort of tell. See, when you look at just the way some of these guitars are routed and stuff like that, how much care has been put into cutting that route out, and that's kind of indicative of how much time was spent on the important bits. Now, it doesn't really matter if it's a wee bit rough, like physically, but if it's got really good routing, it means they probably spent ages making sure the neck fitted and the bridge was in the right place, and all these other things. It's when you look inside a guitar and it's like, it's just get furry bits and it's all over the place, and you're like, they've decided to try and save 50 pence on making this guitar by just not bothering finishing that bit. I wonder what they did with the frets. It's a Harley Benton. Put the frets in. Dunk, 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 dunk. There we go. Next. You going to see if they're level or if they need any work? No. It's done. Just next. 3 half a dozen foot. There we go. Guy, Alan, I believe his name is, or it wasn't the one Scott had. Looks at it and goes, "Yes, it's a tobacco Strat, quality control in the box, out the door. Next." Hundreds an hour. That's how a Harley Benton's built. So miles better than a Harley Benton. Put it that way. It's actually played quite nice. I'm quite liking it. It's got quite it's on the side of a chunky neck, maybe a bit more Telecaster-y neck, feely wise. Let's get this sort of Charvel. That's another reason why I think it might be that that GDR one, because it had the sort of the truss rod wheel here, which is actually quite a good thing. It means you don't even need it. Well, you can use an Allen key, but I just use a screwdriver to adjust it. You push it in the wheels. Modern Chevroles have that. It had that. Also, I remember the routing being particularly clean in the Chevrolet. If I can find the videos, I remember I painted it green, and I got complaints from folk going, "Why are you building a Celtic guitar?" It's like, what? I painted the body green at a white scratch plate. Celtic guitar. Like, it just happened to be green, but I think it was the headstock on it had been cut to a funny shape, like a sort of, I don't know. I think someone had maybe put a Vox transfer. I can't remember exactly. It was a switch caster anyway. Seems to remember it went to Edinburgh actually. I posted it. So only got 3 positions on the switch now. That's even quite nice. Oh, it's not quite good, that's right. Set with the volume control going between 0.6 and 0.65 is where it seems to be a bit perfect. Between 1 and 10, it's like 0.6 is this volume, and that's a 30 watt amp, cutting half on the back, cutting half on the front, so it's 7.5 watts, and it's at 0.065 on the volume control. So we've got a tone for the neck part, neck pickup. I don't think this is the original scratch plate or possibly the original pickups for it either. It's been done up at some point by somebody. Did an alright job. It's alright. They didn't know about shimming necks though, so the B grub screws that hold up the saddles kind of stuck into your hand a bit. So position 4. Middle pickup. Position 2. See? Bridge pickup. Probably get the action set a little bit low to it, but I mean, the way I was looking at it, it's dead easy to raise the action up a bit. You know, all you do is just run your hand down, run an Allen key. It's an Imperial Allen key on this. So the saddles won't be. The saddles aren't Japanese, or no, the saddles aren't Japanese because if they were, it would be metric. But the block definitely is. It's got a big proper. Basically, it's the same Japanese block you get in all Japanese guitars from the 80s. But it wouldn't have come originally in this guitar. Maybe even a slightly V-shaped neck. As I said, the way I'm looking at it is that if I put the action like down at turbo Steve Vai level, to raise it up, all you do is just give each one of these wee bolts exactly half a turn. Bang, 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 bang. Or tune it down a wee bit so you're not fighting against the strings. Bang, bang, half a turn on every single one of them, and everyone will stay in the same, because I've obviously radiused that to match the 7.25 inch radius. The thing about doing, you think, oh, maybe that works the other way. The problem is, if when you work that the other way, I bet your guitar starts buzzing all over the place because the frets aren't very good. So I've kind of overset it up. Remember to turn the volume down a little bit. I'll use position 2 for it, won't I? That's me. Position 2 is doesn't have an indent, but it's still there. You just have to just hold the switch in the middle. Where's my pedal not the same? There we go, okay. So, put drums in. Nope, amp's not on. Kind of a wee bit Creedence Clearwater revival-y. Bridge. Neck. Position 4. Middle. That turns out a wee bit like her. Doesn't actually have fret markers on the edge of the neck as well. Someone's done it with a Sharpie at some point, so you can see, I can see them. Rat! And D! So this tone does bridge and middle. Fuzz! Tone still nothing. I'm thinking, is it? Not that sound, obviously. There goes. Can't remember how you play that, damn it. I'm sure it's just mostly A and G or A and G, or I can't remember which two chords that is on. Something like that, innit? Let's see. One more track. Who tried to play Jessica by the Allman Brothers without having played it for about 10 years and even not sure I could play it right? Anyways, definitely. Should have quit when I was ahead there, but yeah, this guitar's starting to come back to life now. Kind of got a wee bit carried away there, but that's kind of one of those things about getting it used to being a guitar again. I think this maybe just hasn't been played in ages. Settling in, new frets, or newly done frets, new strings, everything just... And then the Delamo fuzz pedal. I don't know. I don't think everyone would like the Delamo fuzz pedal. I just love it. It just makes... I want to sound like that. That wee cheapy... You can see it there, the orangey thing. Actually, that would go really well. Scott's got a guitar that exact colour. An Ibanez RG. Yeah, so... Marvellous. I prefer this to Gordon's other guitar, the one he had... well, I did last week, one that had the Matsumoku nameplate on it. This one, although it does have a Japanese bridge, it's known... It does say Fender on the headstock. Okay, fair enough. So I don't like that. But it's kind of... It's nice. It's a bit different. I think the... Well, it's only got the three-way switch, but actually this switch itself is really easy to just put between the two positions to get the two positions 2 and 4. I didn't really realise that until I started playing it there. It's got dim tones. For some reason, it's making me think a little bit of you know those guitar. My pal Ronnie's into these, like the old sort of 60s pickups guitars, like the sort of K's and Sakai's and Kawai's and all that lot. There's an element of that in this, although it's strat shaped, and it feels kind of there's an element of that sort of white stripesy thing going on. I don't want to say quirky because I normally use quirky as a bad thing. Not a bad thing. It kind of sounds like one of them, but it plays like a normal, feels like a normal guitar. So if anyone knows what this actually is, I'm saying Marlin because that one I had, which I think was the same, the GDR one, the East German one. A few things, well basically, I think I remember it not having dots on the end of the fingerboard, being of a strange sort of wood, really good routing in the body, and having this wheel thing on it makes me think it was the same as that one I had 10 years ago, or whatever it was. But yeah, no, I think this could have a place in a guitar collection, even if you had... I was doing a video last night, I don't know if you'll see it, but you will have seen it, doing the Jim Deacon guitars up at Scott's, and we were playing like comparing one I'd just picked up for the price of 2 kebabs against his £1,500 American Fender, and it's like, they were surprisingly close, but this has got a different thing. I reckon you could have an American Fender and this guitar, like a £1,000 or £2,000 Strat, and this, and still have a use for this, maybe. But with that fuzz pedal, it's just like, here we go. It's got different harmonic frequencies. Maybe it's the tone wood it's made out of. Maybe it's communist. That's what it is. Don't know. So I managed to make that video half an hour when it should have been 5 minutes. To be honest, I talked for 5 minutes at the start. Anyhow, rock on. Catch you all. See you in the live stream Sunday night.